17 suitcases, 17 million, 17 names. Captain Ibrahim Traoré studied the list laid on the table. All this, he said, is wealth stolen from our gold. The air inside Ouagadougou Airport's VIP lounge was dense with tension. Outside, the stars shone over Burkina Faso, but inside, the silence was sharp. Midnight had passed. This area was usually deserted, just guards and the occasional passenger, but tonight it was occupied. Traoré's elite Red Beret forces had taken over the airport. The French diplomatic jet sat on the runway, engines still humming, but it wasn't going anywhere. Inside, around the long table, sat key figures. Traoré himself, Intelligence Chief Colonel Kabore, Airport Director Dio, Justice Minister Aminata, and French Ambassador Jacques Dubois, central figure of the night. Beads of sweat ran down Dubois' face. He fidgeted, trying to mask his fear. "Mr. President," he stammered, "this must be a misunderstanding." "Diplomatic immunity," Traoré raised a hand. "Immunity," he said calmly, "isn't a license to rob a nation." Kabore opened a folder and displayed surveillance images. 10:47 p.m., 3 embassy vehicles arrive. 11, 15, 17. Suitcases are loaded onto your plane. 11:38, you enter the lounge. 11:45, the plane requests clearance. "These are diplomatic items," Dubois argued. "The Vienna Convention," Aminata interrupted, "also forbids transporting illegal materials." Traoré's voice cut in. "Open them." 2 soldiers placed a suitcase on the table. Seals were photographed. The lock clicked open. Inside, bundles of euros, tightly packed, 100 bills, each stack labeled and clean, 1 million in just one case. Traoré opened a side pocket. Gold bars gleamed under the lights, each stamped with Burkina Faso's insignia. "This is our gold," he said, "our people's labor." Dubois looked stunned. "I didn't know embassy staff must have—" "Stop," Aminata snapped. "Each bar is recent. All this left the country without official payment." The next suitcase held confidential state documents, mining maps, resource data, even notes on new oil discoveries. "This information is top secret," Kabore muttered. "Only 5 people knew." "Make that 6, Traoré added, naming the geology director. "How valuable is this intel?" asked Dio. "If foreign firms got it," said Aminata, "they'd buy land, rig bids, and make billions." The third suitcase contained photographs, hundreds of them. Government officials in compromising situations. Clubs, banks, luxury stores. Faces linked with foreign businessmen. Surveillance evidence, blackmail material. "What were you planning with these?" Traoré asked. Dubois said nothing. The fourth case held weapon-stinny cameras, drones, listening devices. "NSA-grade tech," Kabore said. "American equipment in French hands. Shared through NATO," Traoré remarked, "but used here in sovereign Africa." Fifth suitcase, fake IDs, passports, licenses. Multiple identities for the same faces. "That man came as a human rights observer," said Dio. "He interviewed a minister last week," added Aminata. "Same person, different name." Traoré stared out the window. "How many years have you played this game?" he asked. "How many spies, how much blackmail, how much gold have you stolen?" Sixth suitcase, top secret military documents, troop placements, weapon caches, weaknesses. "This is kept in the general staff safe," said Kabore. "Only 3 have access." 4, corrected Traoré. "You forgot Miriam, the cleaner." "Miriam? She's been there 20 years, the perfect spy." Seventh suitcase, cash in every major currency. "A bribe fund," Aminata explained. Eighth, luxury goods, each tagged with names. "Gifts for officials and their families," Kabore read. Ninth suitcase shocked everyone. Inside were files on Traoré's personal life, medical records, secret meetings, even audio from secure rooms. "There were only 3 of us in that room," said Kabore. "Actually 4, Traoré reminded him. The defense minister showed up for 5 minutes, then left. 10th suitcase, scientific reports, and geological surveys. "These are priceless," said Aminata. "They'll now be used by foreign firms as if it's their own discovery. 11th propaganda posters, pamphlets, videos promoting a former leader thought dead. Laurent Comporé." "These weren't filmed here," said Traoré, spotting the Eiffel Tower in one shot. "They were done in Paris. 12th, poisons tasteless, odorless, untraceable. Kills like heart attacks, strokes," Kabore read. "This is an assassination kit." "I'm just a courier," Dubois insisted. "I didn't know." "But you loaded all 17 suitcases," said Traoré. "We have footage. 13th suitcase, hard drives, USBs. A tech expert analyzed them. Our entire digital infrastructure is here," he gasped. "Banking, government systems see everything. They could shut the country down." 14th, oil and gas contracts. 80% to a French company. 50-year lease, said Aminata. "And here," Traoré added, "my forged signature." 15th, lists of names opponents, journalists, artists. Codes marked some, K for close, T for arrest, S for exile, U for kill. "My name's here," Traoré said. First on the list, 16th suitcase. Military satellite images of the entire country. "Invasion plans," said Aminata. "Just waiting for a green light." The final suitcase held one file, Operation Sankara. Secret Traoré opened it with trembling hands. The date, October 15, 1987. Details, the assassination of Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary leader. Participants, DGSE, CIA, local collaborators. Objective, install a Western-friendly regime, then Phase 2. Target, Ibrahim Traoré. Goal, economic pressure and if needed elimination. Budget, 50 million, 17 officials already bribed. Traoré looked up, voice heavy. 36 years, same plot, same enemy. "I didn't know," Dubois muttered. "Enough," said Traoré. He turned to Kabore. "Arrest everyone on the list, seize their assets." "Aminata," he added. "Emergency session. We show all this to Parliament." "Yes, Mr. President." "Dio, shut the airport. No one leaves." "Done." Then to Dubois. "You'll return to Paris with copies of everything, every photo, every recording. Deliver our message." He stared out at the horizon. "Burkina Faso is no longer anyone's colony. Our gold, uranium, oil, they're ours. You killed Sankara, but his ideals live on." Paragraph 2. At 6 a.m., national TV interrupted broadcasts. Traoré appeared with 17 suitcases behind him. "Last night," he said, "we uncovered a plot. These suitcases hold proof." He opened them one by one, live on TV. Every page, photo, weapon displayed for the world. 17 suitcases, 17 traitors, but we are 17 million Burkinabe, and now we are awake. Crowds flooded the streets. Flags, chants, drums. "Long live independence. Down with colonialism." Sankara's children are rising. In Paris, crisis meetings exploded. "This is unacceptable," the French president roared. "We must respond," said the defense minister. "But the evidence is public," warned the foreign minister. "Intervening now means losing all of Africa." But it was too late. The spark had lit a fire. Mali's president called for reviews of all French contracts. Niger's youth rallied. "We want our 17 suitcases too." The UN held an emergency session. France cited violations of diplomatic immunity. Burkina Faso responded with evidence in hand. What does international law say about stealing resources? About killing Sankara? Russia backed them. China followed. The US stayed silent. That night, Ouagadougou celebrated. Bonfires, music, speeches. A girl spoke. My father works in the mines. He earns 2 a day. That gold is worth thousands. This ends now. Traoré addressed the cabinet. France will retaliate. We're ready, he said. We have allies, we have our people, and we have our resources. 6 months later, Burkina Faso was booming. Schools were built, hospitals opened, job programs launched. The press called it a miracle. There's no miracle, said Traoré. We're just using what's ours. The 17 suitcases were placed in a national museum. Students visited daily. Children, an old teacher explained, these cases held our stolen future. Now it's back in our hands. A girl asked, will the French come again? They might, said the teacher. But we're awake now. We'll never sleep again. Because the 17 suitcases weren't just luggage. They were a symbol of resistance, of rebirth, of freedom. Years later, books would call it Africa's second independence. The first was political, this one economic, and this time it was real.